Hi, my name is Elise and I am totally obsessed with my luxury garden. Here it is behind me. It is so beautiful and it's still going into the fall season and I'm so happy about that. But because the season, wind of course. Because the season is slowly coming to an end here, I'm gonna dig up the rest of my potatoes. There was a previous video I did about how to harvest and grow potatoes, so check out that link below in the description and you can watch that. This video is more so focused on storing them because I am about to dig up a full bed full basically, and I'm gonna have a ton. So I'm gonna show you some storage tips that I have. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and like this video so I know that you like this content, and I'll keep going with it. So here we go, let's harvest a ton of potatoes and I'll show you how I'm going to store them for the winter season. Wow, that is awesome. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, big one down here. 6. Little one. 7. 'So I've just harvested 14 potatoes from just this one 2.5 foot square section. With drip lines, you definitely have to move them around a bit, push them to the side. It can be a bit of a pain when trying to harvest. However, still totally worth it if you can do it. I installed these in the spring and it just made my life so much easier, not having to come down and water every single day. Wow, lots of little ones in here. Also some really big ones coming out too. Wow. This is awesome. They can be tilled back into the soil, as well as the grass for nitrogen. This grass is growing through because this originally was grass here in the backyard, and I used cardboard to cover it and built a veggie bed instead. So the cardboard worked, but obviously not perfectly, because as you can see, grass is growing up through the bottom of the veggie bed still. This is quite time consuming and a little bit labor intensive to pull all of these up, but I want to get them out of the ground now because I want to store them so that I have space in this bed. I'm going to try and plant some cover crops in here as an experiment because I've never done that before. So I'd like to get all this dug up so they can be stored or used, so that I can put something new in this veggie bed for the fall. Box is completely full, and this is a box for wine glasses, so it's quite tall. So this box of potatoes is so heavy, it's completely full. So I'm going to carry these up and I'm going to have to get a new box, but check this out, that is 20 pounds of potatoes. So it's very heavy. I'm taking this up and I'll come back. So you really have to dig through and search, and you want to be kind of gentle because you don't want to disturb the skin too much, because they'll need to heal over a bit. So while I'm trying to go a little bit quick here because I don't have all day, I'm still trying not to scar the skin or dig out the skin at all. So I have gloves on, so it's fairly soft, so I'm not scraping the skin off at all. Because I have so many of these potatoes, probably totaling at least 30 pounds here, I need to store some of these long term. Now, in a previous video, I talked about growing and harvesting potatoes and a little bit about storage, but not too much. So in this video, that's why I wanted to talk more about storage, because you do not want to clean these off for long-term storage. In my other video, I did clean them off and say I was storing them, but that was relatively short-term storage because those were eaten up within a couple of weeks. So they were being stored just basically in my cupboard until I ate them. So I did wash those ones right away just because they were going inside into my kitchen and I didn't want a big mess. But these ones here, because there are so many and the growing season is slowly coming to an end here, these need to be stored for a longer term. So in that case, these will not be cleaned off. The dirt stays on and the skin will cure. And that way the skin will be a bit more durable for storage over a course of several months through the fall and winter season. Unless I eat them before then, but. So that's the tip of the day. Do not wash them if you're planning to save them for a while. If you're eating them quickly, like I do, you can wash them and they'll still last for a couple weeks. Wow, I'm so excited about this potato harvest. They look so good. Some of them are just massive, like this one. Oh my gosh. That is huge. That like is bigger than my whole entire palm. And I'm so excited to have these. I'm thrilled with the results because this was my first time growing potatoes in a veggie bed. I've grown them in the past in containers and they never really worked out that great, and I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. So this year I'm just totally thrilled that my first time growing them in a veggie bed and paying good care and attention to them, and I have this as the result. I am so happy. So a few things about storing potatoes, because that's the focus of this video, is that you can store them in a root cellar for up to 6 months. You need to store them in a breathable container or cloth bag, but not near onions or apples. So I am just going to have these separately on their own in some wooden crates and cardboard boxes. That's just what I have, so I'm going to go with it. And as I said previously in the video, I'm leaving this dirt on for these to dry out. I'm not going to wash them. So I'm going to spread them out a bit more than what they are right now so that air can flow through and they can dry up properly. You can also, as another way to store these, if you do want to wash them and clean them up right away, cut them into French fries, put them in a bag, and put them in the freezer. So I thought that was a great idea, and I might try that with some of these. The rest of them are going to go into a wooden crate and boxes, and I'll show you the wooden crate I'm talking about right now. Okay, so here is the crate that I have. I just got this at Home Depot. There were some other things in here, but this is where I'm going to store the potatoes that I'll bring in right away to put into my cupboard. And then the other ones, as I said, they're going in cardboard boxes. I might put a little bit of newspaper at the bottom. First, they will dry out for about 24 hours, maybe a bit longer if I don't get to them, maybe a couple days to be honest, in my garage, and then they will be put in a cool, dark place. Potatoes are now spread out across 4 boxes and they're going to dry out here. The sun is hitting them right now, so I'll leave them for a couple days and just shut the garage at night. And just something to note that I will not be storing them in my garage because it's gonna get down to like -30 this winter in the garage, so these potatoes would freeze if they were out there. So I have a little storage room under my stairs. It's dark and it just stays cool, probably somewhere around 20 degrees. So I'm gonna put most of them there and then the rest into the crate in my kitchen to use because we do use a lot of potatoes in cooking. So that's what I'll be doing with them after they dry out for a day or two. So I hope this is helpful for you. I am hoping to inspire people to do some gardening and growing food themselves, because obviously grocery store prices are just completely insane, and some of those potatoes that I harvested were from old potatoes that were left over in my cupboard that had been sitting and I never got around to eating. I just plunked those into the ground, rolled them in the sulfur 90, and they grew. So you can grow your own potatoes for very, very cheap. So I am hoping to inspire people to do the same. You can try potatoes in bags or containers, so you don't have to have a huge plot or a lot of space to accomplish some growing of your own. So I definitely recommend trying out potatoes. It's been very successful and a fun experiment for me. So if you like this, please subscribe and like this channel. It would really feel good if you supported me and will encourage me to keep going. If you've made it to the end of this video on me harvesting and talking about how I am storing my potatoes, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and happy gardening!